Welcome to In It to Win It. This is Steve Barton, and thank you for tuning in. We are here with Joaquin Marias of Argenta Silver. Joaquin, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks to you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure's all on this side, sir. Go ahead and give us your elevator pitch and tell us about your project in Argentina.
Okay, so I'm representing Argenta Silver Corp, which is a company that it's coming from the Fiori Group. We formed the company late last year, and in a very short span of time, Steve, we could get an opportunity that I brought into the group in Argentina. The opportunity is called El Quevar Project. It's located in the Salta province on the north of Argentina. It's a project that has already 45.3 million ounces of silver at a really spectacular grade. It's 482 grams per ton of silver. And we have, that's in the indicated resource, and on the inferred resource, we have 4.1 million ounces of silver at 417 grams per ton. This is a spectacular project because it was in hands of a company that was struggling to survive. So that's when I identified the opportunity. We bought this project for 3.5 million American dollars, which is very, very cheap for the amount of silver that it has in the resource. And from there, we had to submit all the regulatory documentation to be back on the stock. So we did this through a shell company, and then we changed the name of the shell company to Argenta Silver. Our ticker is AGAG, is the silver company, so you can't forget about that. And we were back into the market by the end of October. So since then, what I have been doing, it's putting a team together. We have been reconditioning the camp and reconditioning the roads, and now everything is going really, really well. We start our exploration program from 2025 on the 3rd of January. So we started the year with the exploration program, and we have an incredible team on the ground at this moment. Just to mention something else that it's very important is that the previous owner, which was Golden Minerals, they invested over $60 million in infrastructure. So we have a camp for 100 people that it's ready to use, and we have a huge network of roads that can take you into any place of the project. So it's there. We know that it's there, and our task is to make this grow.
Okay. What is your market cap, cash, and debt?
Okay, so no debt,
No debt? That's good.
no pending payments.
Okay.
Okay, we have $9 million of working capital. That's
Okay.
our cash today in the bank, and our market cap, it's approximately $45 million.
Okay.
The thing is that we started this company with a market cap on the books of $10 million. So we have multiplied that 4.5 times in a very, very short span of time. Remember, we were back on trading on October, the 28th of October last year, and today we have a market cap of approximately $45 million, and we haven't done much yet. So this is starting. This is the ground base. We are very excited because starting a project with so much infrastructure, with such a good market cap, with people like Frank Giustra backing us up, a very huge high net worth group of people that it's backing us up. So this is the baseline, and we are very excited because we know that the future is really bright on the project, on the Quevar project. And it's not about Argentina, Steve. I want to tell you that because some people, they think that Argenta Silver it's going only and only to be exploring in Argentina. And the idea from Frank Giustra and the founders of this company, including me, myself, is that we are going to develop a Latin American company that is going to be focused on silver. So that's the idea. We have been looking for other assets in Latin America, and I think that it's going to be a great story, and people really should be tuned and follow us to see what's coming on.
Yeah. So this is very, very leveraged to silver because
Yes.
you're almost entirely silver. You're pulling almost nothing else out of the ground, correct?
When you say entirely silver, it's, I would say, pure silver.
Okay, pure silver.
Pure silver, entirely silver, pure silver, 100%. We are not silver equivalent. You see, and most of those that say that are silver companies, they have, I don't know, 10, 25, 30% of their resource is silver, and all the
Yeah.
rest are other things from the periodic table. No, for us it's 100% silver. This is a pure silver asset. We are not silver equivalent. We have a combined resource of almost 50 million ounces of pure silver.
Okay. All right. Um, what you and your team? So you've talked a little bit about your team. What are the experiences that you and your team have had in the past that is relevant to what you're doing here in Argenta?
Okay, that's a great question. And I will start not talking about my team, but talking about the previous owner of this project. So they explored this in between 2008 to 2013, and they left the country. The thing is that the project has been dormant for over 10 years. We can recognize some mistakes from the previous company. So those mistakes are the ones that we are building up a strategy, because we know that those are things that were done wrong or not completely right. So we are building on top of those to fix what we consider that we can fix and that we can bring value to the project, right? And in terms of my team, I put a chief geologist that it's called Guillermo Peralta. I put him to work on the project. Guillermo, it's coming from different companies. He was at the very beginnings of Fruta del Norte in
Okay.
Ecuador with Kinross. He was at the very beginnings of Lobo Marte in Chile. He's part of the team that discovered Cerro Negro in the Argentine Patagonia. So he's a guy that knows very well what he's doing. We also brought a group of people that it's very, very skilled. We have camp managers that have been in the industry for over 30 years. They know perfectly what they are doing. I put a president for the subsidiary in Argentina that it's a very well-known lawyer in the Salta province. He has been a part of the management of some lithium companies in the area. So I think that my team has plenty of, let's say, big record behind of failures and successes.
Yeah.
And all those things, it's what makes you and me better, right?
Yeah.
All the failures and successes that we have. And it's the same for them with all that proven track record that they have. So, yeah, it's a great team that it's in place. We also have people that's been awarded recently. Our community manager from Argentina, it's a lady. It's called Veronica Roldan. She has been awarded as the woman in mining for Argentina for 2024.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, very, very nice, very interesting.
Okay. What about the geology? Is there anything similar about this geology that you guys have experienced in the past?
Yes. So Guillermo, it's coming from all those projects that I'm telling you, and that's why I brought him in, because Fruta del Norte, Lobo Marte, and some other of these deposits are high sulfidation deposits,
Yeah.
high sulfidation systems. So these epithermal deposits, they all share a similarity, right?
Yeah.
What it will change is where you are on the system, where the erosion has taken you in the system, right? So El Quevar is an epithermal high sulfidation deposit with some hints of other things, but it has clearly a very well developed margin and a very well developed evolution on surface that you can tell where things are located. So that's why we brought these people in, because they understand very well these systems. They know about the nature of these systems, and it's very obvious to us that these evidences that we find on surface are not only going to guide us towards the silver, but as well towards the gold that we have on the property, and who knows if potentially not to porphyry in the future. So there is gold in the property. We are going to address those targets. The previous companies, they were not well focused on the gold, but there is still gold around the property, and that's the potential, the upside potential that we have in the project.
Okay. Now you guys are pretty high in altitude, right?
Yes.
What are some challenges that come with mining at that altitude?
Well, it's high compared to BC
Yeah.
or to Arizona or to Nevada, maybe, right? But the flat altitude plains in Argentina, they start at 4,000 meters.
Okay.
But not only in Argentina, it's the same for Peru, Bolivia, and Chile. All those floodplains, they start at 4,000 meters. Our mineralization is located at 4,500 meters.
Okay.
So when you say it's high, yeah, well, it's high compared to here, but compared to other projects, to our peers, it's not really that high. There are projects that they have mineralization at 5,700 meters,
Okay.
right? Or probably above 5,500 meters. We are way below that. Our camp is located at 3,900 meters altitude, so you can live perfectly there. We used to have a soccer court.
Oh, a soccer field.
A soccer field. Yeah.
Okay.
Dirt, obviously, because there's nothing growing there.
Yeah.
But you could even play soccer there. I have played soccer there in the past.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a place where you can still live and survive. So in terms of mining, if you compare to other projects like the ones that are in Chile, the altitude it's the average. There are no major complications.
Okay. How are you getting water?
Water there? Well, we are not getting the water up. The water is coming down to us.
Okay.
It's because we have two water wells.
Okay.
And they are supplying the camp. That's the water that we use for everything at camp. And from top of the mountain, you have plenty of spring water coming out of the mountain. And it's funny because the further you go from the source, the less water you find because it gets infiltrated.
Yeah.
So you have to get closer to the water spring to catch the water, and that's the water that we can use for drilling or in the future probably for mining. There is plenty of water. Something that it's very important and very relevant to know is that the water, it's not drinkable. That water is not drinkable. It will have different metals that are making the water not able for consumption.
Okay.
So the local communities and the people that lives there, they don't consume at all the water. Just some llamas and some goats that are around, they drink the water because they can't drink it, but not the people. Right?
Okay. So you're not in competition for drinking water.
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right. Okay. Who owns the company? How much do you own? Vested partners? You mentioned Frank.
Well, Frank Giustra is a major shareholder. He owns 13.6% of the company. Then there is a group of people that it's a high net worth people that they own shares of the company. We very well know this because when we raised money on the last financing, we perfectly knew who was coming into us for that financing. So that people is people that we trust, that we know. They are very, very smart investors, very well educated investors. And then there is a portion that it's retail, right? There are insiders as well that are part of the company. And I think that I forgot the other part of your question.
Okay, so how much do you own?
Oh, I think that I own approximately 0.3% or
okay.
Less. Yes.
0.3%. What's the share for retail? What's available to people watching the show?
Well,
what percentage?
That's a very important question what you are doing to me. Today it's 17th of January, so there is not much volume outside, and the percentage that it's out there, it's not completely clear now, because when we did the financing, we raised the 15 million, we issued 100 million shares, and those shares are restricted to trading until
100,000 or 100 million?
100 million.
100 million shares.
Okay. 100 million shares.
Okay.
100 million shares, and they are restricted until the 21st of January. So on the past weeks, we haven't seen that much volume or that much liquidity, because there is this majority of shares that are in hands of people that they cannot trade now.
They can't trade them for another few days.
At all, yes. So on the 21st of January, we will start to see more things, and that's when we possibly will be looking to bring as well analysts and different companies to research the capital and to have a better understanding of what is our share structure at this moment, right?
Okay. All right. So you issued 100 million shares for $15 million.
That's correct.
And that's
at
Canadian?
15 cents. Canadian, yes.
Okay, so that's 15 cents a share.
Yes.
And then once that hits the market here in 4 days, then we'll know.
Yeah, we will know, and we will have a better picture of how the share structure is starting to compose itself.
Okay.
This is very, very new. As I say, we came back to trade on the 28th of October.
Yeah.
It was a shell company with just 69 million shares inside. Then we issue the shares for the 15 cents to get the 15 million that we get. And we have a line of people that it's coming to us and telling us, hey, you didn't have us in mind. You forgot about us. I mean, no, it wasn't personal. We were doing things very, very quick. It's one of the fastest acquisitions that has happened in the market. In less than 90 days, we were able to identify the opportunity, to acquire the project, to submit every requirement from the TSX, to make an NI 43101 mineral resource statement that it's compliant and that it was for the requirements of relisting ourselves. That's when we get back onto trading. So in less than 60 to 90 days, we could make all that, acquire a project that has an investment of over $60 million for just 3.5 million American dollars. So it's been very, very fast, and this is very recent.
That's a good turnaround. Okay. Scalability. So you're looking for silver. There is some gold on the property, although your focus right now is on silver. What do you see as the target size? I know right now you're at 43 to 45 million ounces of silver. Where do you think this could go? Talk about size, scalability.
Okay, scalability. So the mineralization is actually outcropping. It's emerging. We call it emerging, right? So it's emerging to surface. From there, it has a plunge that it's very slight in angle. The previous company, they left in 2013, and they left the deposit completely open on the end. And actually, they left a part that has not enough density of drill holes. And that's where we plan to make an infill in the future. So that infill will allow us to include that portion into the resource. But even like that, you can totally trace the trend of the deposit, and you could tell that the deposit might continue in that direction. So we need to keep drilling on that direction. We need to make step outs. There is as well a chance on the down dip and up dip of the vein, or the deposit itself. It's not a vein, it's a breccia. So we have potential there. And not only that, scalability of this is that the 80% of the drilling, of the total drilling, is only here. Just 20% is around. So it's barely drilled in the surroundings.
Okay.
And we have identified different targets that we will be drilling. And we want to know if they have some relation to this main deposit, or if they are connected in between themselves. So we could start to build from there up. There are intercepts of, for example, 2 meters at 2,960 grams per ton of silver. There are another intercepts, for example, in a place that it's called Argentina, that it has 8 meters at 779 grams per ton. So what I mean is that there's huge potential that hasn't been followed up before. And coming back to your previous questions, what are the things that we learned from the past? Well, we see these mistakes that the previous company, they didn't follow properly these targets that have so much potential. So we will follow them up, and we hope to start linking them and try to understand them better. We are going to do things by the book. This is something that I'm telling all the time. We want to play by the book with the community, with the government, with the deposit itself. If you do things as it is on the books, you come to a really good place. Mining has been in the world for millions of years, right? Yeah. So we know how to do it. But there is still people in the market, or still people in the industry, that they skip steps, or they want to take shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. You need to play by the book, and you will get what you want. And that's where we are going now.
Okay. You're in Argentina. And so what changes have you noticed since we've gotten Malay? So huge change of government.
Yes,
right?
yes. That's
inflation's
correct.
actually getting under control. It's
Yes.
not running away at 300% a
That's
year
correct.
now. How has this affected you and your company? Just pontificate on that for a minute.
Okay, so our company, it's been created very recently, so we haven't seen the bad portion of the story,
Yeah.
right? what we are looking now, it's the good portion of the story. What I could say is that in Argentina, there is a major change since Milei. Inflation is controlled.
Yeah.
There were restrictions on effects on foreign exchange. There were restrictions on currency, so currency controls. There were restrictions on import and export. All those things are starting to disappear, or they have already been gone. So they are fixing all these issues. They are fixing all these problems. Oh, Steve, now you see how bad are the currency controls, the foreign exchange controls, and everything that not even the camera likes. Right? So it was terrible. So terrible that even the camera stopped.
Yes.
We don't want them back. Argentina is now on a new track. So yeah, let's not speak anymore about currency control.
Okay.
Okay.
Suffices to say, Malay is good for mining in Argentina.
Yeah, good for mining, good for the oil industry and agricultural. He has chosen those three industries as pillars to develop the new Argentina, as he calls that. Like in the States, Trump is stating MAGA. Well, we have our own kind of MAGA
Okay.
in Argentina, right? Like make Argentina great again.
Argentina
Yeah, and
great
those
again.
are the three pillars. It's oil and gas, agricultural, and mining industry.
Mining industry. Okay. And what is the biggest unanswered question facing your company today? What is the biggest question mark?
The biggest question mark is how big is this company going to be? That's something that gave me goosebumps at the moment that I went to talk to Frank about this project in late August. So I approached Frank and I told him, look, Golden Minerals is in a distressed position. I have found that they are not good financially. I have been following this asset for the last 15 years, and I know that it's a great pure silver asset. So he looked me on the eye, and he told me, "Look, I have been for 40 years dreaming to build a pure silver company that is going to be focused on Latin America." And we started discussing about how big this thing was going to be. We start to bring in our conversation with the people that was building this up, companies like or names like Pan American, like Hecla. So this is the start or probably the birth of something that can be very, very big. We are still looking for assets in Latin America. We have been looking for assets in 3 or 4 different countries. We are even still looking for assets in Argentina, and we want to build up from here. So one of the biggest unanswered questions today is how big this thing is going to be. For those that want to invest, getting a company that it's in discount like ours with 50 million ounces of silver in a combined resource, with all that investment that we have in place at a very, very, very cheap uh, share price today, with this market cap, and with all the potential that the project has, with all the intentions that we have from the Fiori Group to make this grow, I think that it's very undervalued company, a very undervalued company, a very undervalued project, and our future it's going to be big. There's nothing that it's going to stop us. Another one of the biggest questions that I have been asking the conferences is what is your biggest concern at this moment? Probably our biggest concern is not the geology or where do we want to bring this company up. It's going to be how much money we can raise on each of the steps that we want to make in the future.
Okay. And if the viewers want to get a hold of you, follow your company, follow your work, how can they do so?
Well, you can follow us on LinkedIn, you can follow us on Instagram, you can follow us on X. So Argenta Silver, if you want to invest in the company, Argenta Silver, and our ticker it's AGAG. So this is the silver company. Your public can't forget about that. So if you want to contact us, you can do it through those channels. My name is Joaquin Marias. I am the VP of Exploration and Development of the company. You can reach us through those channels.
Awesome. Well, thank you very
Oh,
much for
thank
coming
you
on the
very
show.
much.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And thank you for tuning in. Be sure to support the show and share this with anyone that you think needs to hear it. It's probably your buddy that can't stop talking about tech stocks. You have yourself a great rest of the day, and we will talk to you next time.